Masons. They're called Masons in Minecraft Java Edition, Stonemasons in Bedrock. Masons are a villager profession who offer trades for a number of rare building blocks, including bricks and all 32 types of colored and glazed terracotta. I want to be able to buy bricks and any type of terracotta I want, and I want to be able to barter with my masons anytime I choose in a building that both stands out but also fits in with the lore of the rest of my town. We already have the Farmers Guild, the Guild of Knowledge, and the Blacksmiths Guild, all situated around the square here, and we're going to build the Masons Guild a few blocks down this path. In today's episode of my Let's Play Minecraft Survival series, I'm going to show you how to plan, prepare, and build a villager trading hall of nothing but masons. I certainly hope you'll enjoy my journey of planning and building and the blunders I will most certainly make along the way, and if you do, please consider clicking the like button and help me show this video to more people on YouTube. First things first, I want to gauge how difficult it's going to be to create masons who will sell a variety of terracotta blocks. So let's head down into the secret laboratory here below my base. Down here in my villager breeder, I've activated this lever, which turns the breeder off. So now we'll turn it on. And hopefully they'll resume breeding fairly quickly. After all, they've endured what we'll refer to as a long dry spell. Here's all the villagers I have currently. While it seems like a lot, I may need a whole lot more. Masons have to be at the expert level in their profession before each mason will offer a single type of terracotta block for sale, which means that I can't just plop down a stonecutter over and over again to reset their trades like you can with a librarian, which also means that if I gift them up to expert and I don't like the type of terracotta offered, or if it's a duplicate, I'll have to kill them. Here is the villager conversion chamber. My subscribers may remember this from previous episodes. This is how we can get the cheapest trades possible from villagers. First, the villager is mauled by a captive zombie, converting them into a zombie villager. I'm playing in hard difficulty, so when a villager is attacked by a zombie, it will always convert. Pressing this floor button moves them on to the next stage, where we can dispense a potion of weakness from the ceiling, giving them a nice, relaxing shower before feeding them a golden apple, causing them to have a prolonged seizure. I have no shortage of golden apples nowadays, thanks to the gold farm that I built on top of the nether a few episodes ago. It is literally a farm that never stops paying off, and I highly recommend that you build one in your world. After about 3 to 5 real-world minutes, the zombie villager converts back to human, at which point we can move them to the third stage, where we plop a stonecutter in front of them, and hopefully they pick up the mason profession. Once they're a mason, we'll need to trade with them until they're at the expert level, and we'll need a wide variety of materials to do this. Previously, I was trying to use this chest to store all my trading goods, but it worked out terribly. It was just really insufficient storage space for trading goods. So we're going to tear out this wall across from the villager, and we're going to install shulker boxes. Oh, that's right, I have shulker boxes now because after defeating the Ender Dragon in the last episode, I raided an End City. Defeating the Ender Dragon causes an End Gateway portal to appear just outside the obsidian columns. Mine was rather high up, so I built this small platform to reach it. After that, I threw Ender Pearls into the portal at an angle, careful not to throw the portal beyond the portal, as I've done before, resulting in a quick death in the void. So, I aimed for the top or bottom and threw my pearls, hurting myself over and over again before successfully teleporting to the outer islands. The island I wound up on was quite large, and so I started traveling the edges of it, looking for an End City in the distance. However, I couldn't see any, so I cheated by going into the menu and raising my draw distance to the full 32 chunks. Although this caused my frame rate to stutter and my computer fans to go into high gear, I spotted several End Cities immediately. I brought along with me several stacks of stone blocks and placed them with the sneaking method to carefully cross the void, my heart beating rapidly in my chest the entire time for fear of a keyboard malfunction causing me to fall into the void and instantly lose all my equipment. Upon arriving at the city, I was overjoyed to see it had a ship parked at the top, so I used more stone and pillared directly up to the ship, pausing to kill the shulkers on the ship's stern. I then killed the box monster inside and picked up my first Elytra. I then killed all the shulkers in the End City and started crafting these handy shulker boxes, which let you carry up to 27 stacks of items in one inventory slot. I found 2 more End Cities not much farther away and raided those, and now we have 3 Elytra enchanted with Unbreaking and Mending. The book and quill in Minecraft is so handy, especially for writing out lists of items that masons like to trade. So we're going to fill a shulker box with each of the items masons want. And because shulker boxes can stick sideways to walls, we're going to fill this little niche with a shulker box for each. We need a whole lot of clay balls. So now that I've got my Elytra and I am ready to fly, we are going to head over to the swamplands, which are just a little ways southeast of here. It's also a much quicker journey to our gold farm, which is right down there. Of course, the swamp is over here, so we're going to search the swamp for clay balls in the water. And here's some right here. Of course, I came to the swamp to get clay balls because there is the most clay underneath the water per capita out of all the biomes in Minecraft. While I'm out here, I might as well get some slimes. Alright, now that I've got a full shulker box of clay balls, I'm satisfied for the moment. I do have 2 extra stacks, so hopefully that's helpful if I have to trade with more masons than I'm anticipating. And now I need to fill up a shulker box full of nether quartz, which of course I need to head to the nether to acquire. Alright, looks like we are full up on nether quartz, again with a little bit to spare, and I am just about ready to head back. Alright, so now we are back down here in the chamber, and I'm ready to start trading with our mason, getting him up to full speed. So the things I buy from him are going to go into this first shulker box. In the second shulker box I have emeralds, stone in this one, and then I have 1 of each type of other stone in this one, clay balls here of course, and nether quartz here. So we're all ready to go. I can't help but feel a little claustrophobic about this area. Perhaps I'll take this wall back. I think in fact this entire wall probably needs to go back one, but I'll worry about that in a little. Whoop. I don't know if you could see in the background, but yeah, it pinches me, it knocks me down like a trapdoor does. That's kind of funny. Right, and now we're going to start trading with this fine fellow, so we will sell him all of these balls. Oh my goodness, he almost took the entire thing, but that did trade him out of the first level. And once he starts emitting those little purple particles there, we know he's ready for the next round. Okay, so stone, and he will sell chiseled bricks. Good. All right, we're almost sold out there, so it looks like I'm going to need yet another stone transaction to get him up past apprentice. All right, and he's got all the swirly particles again, and now polished diorite. He wants to sell me polished diorite, but he will buy andesite. It's not much of a discount. I'm going to be honest with you there. That's a little disappointing. All right, so this should get him up to the expert level, I think. Yes, now he's at expert, and he is selling yellow terracotta and yellow glazed terracotta. Okay, fantastic. So he's selling both of those. If he was just selling glazed terracotta, I don't think he'd be approved. I don't think he'd be staying with us. But right now, what I'm really going to do is buy bricks. It doesn't seem like we got him up, but boy, we sure did buy a lot of bricks. What else do I want to buy? I guess I'll just go ahead and buy a couple pieces of, did that get him up past expert? Let's see. Yes, he leveled up. So now he's a master, and now he's selling the quartz pillars for an emerald apiece. All right. So now we have some idea of what it takes to trade with a mason. So we may wind up with duplicate villagers, right? So that would not be good. So if we do get a duplicate villager that's already selling a kind of terracotta that we already have available from another villager, we will want to dispose of that villager. So I'm going to build a track now with a splitter. So it will split off in two directions, and we will be able to throw a switch. And if we throw the switch one direction, the track will take them over to the build site where we are building the villager trading hall of masons. Or if we flip the switch the other way, the track will take them to a quick and humane death that doesn't involve me equipping my sword and chopping them up in front of any other villagers that might be here. Alright, so before I seal this up, because I am going to have to throw some more blocks in here, I want to show you what I've got as far as like dispensing the guy out of here. So actually, this block doesn't belong here, and we need 2 more blocks up there. So what's going to happen is if we switch this switch so that, actually we have to switch it the other way. Alright, so if we switch it that way, it means that this guy is going to die. And he's poor, look at his poor little face. He's actually trying to buy the stone that I'm holding. I'm sorry, I'm not selling that. I didn't mean to tease you, sir. All right, so if we switch the switch off, it looks like, so the track is going to go that way. Sorry, I'm a little distracted because what I wanted it to do was switch from going straight to going at a curve. So anyway, let's talk about, we'll come back to that in just a second. So if we've switched it this way, the villager is going to come up the track here once we press this button, and he's going to go straight into this chamber. When he hits this activator rail, he'll be ejected from the cart, and we're going to put 2 more blocks in here so that basically the only space he'll be able to land in is the one with this magma block, and he will burn up very quickly. So then back here, of course, we have the rail going at a curve, and once it hits this corner, it's going to hit this cactus, and it's going to be captured by these item hoppers below here, and then it'll go into this chest. Okay, so yeah, I guess one way to test it is to see, like, if I get ejected. Oh yeah, I've been ejected right there, and I'm getting killed. All right, so let's see what happened to my cart. Did it go over here? Yep. All right, so yeah, that's one way to test it. Guess I'll eat and heal back up, and hopefully we don't have to test it with this poor guy, because you're good, sir. We don't want to test it with you. Now I am concerned about this track switching. So yeah, so what I wanted was for the track to switch between going straight, taking him that way, or taking him this way. But it looks like once you start switching the track, it wants to switch from side to side, it looks like. I think the alternative maybe is to bring the track this way, but that means getting rid of the lever here. So we'd have to bring the track here and then through this wall. And I guess we'll fill this area back up. All right, so now somehow we've got to put a switch here. We've got to put the lever back here somewhere, and we've got to put it in such a way that it causes this block to switch back and forth. All right, so that wasn't nearly as hard as I thought it was going to be. Just to show you what I did under here, so directly under where the track is there, I put a redstone torch. So that is always lit, and that means that the track will always be facing north, or the death part. So if we turn the switch on, the redstone activates below it, and the this repeater sends a signal directly into the block below the redstone torch, deactivating it, and that switches the track off or south. All right, let's see if we can fit a slab here. And let's see if this still works. Yeah, it still works. All right, cool. All right, so I didn't have to move it, and it still works. So you can run that under a slab. Okay, great. So this guy is good. So we want to send him down the line to happiness. All right, I haven't dug it all the way out. Sorry, buddy, but you just wait there and we'll get you taken care of. All right, so I've given Mr. Yellow Terracotta Mason another fresh start here by pushing him out of the tunnel and back over here to his starting point. And now I'm going to dig out the rest of this tunnel, and I'm going to do it in a quick little time lapse. So now we've got a tunnel with easy access to bring our masons up here, and then we can continue adding blocks in order to create a ramp in order to load them into their little spaces. Now guys, I'm not liking this. The plan was to build a mason's guild, just like the guilds that we have over there in this area, but it's just too crowded. It's just too cramped up against the river here. I'm just not inspired to raise a building up that will be barely visible even as you're kind of coming around this corner. I mean, it'd be difficult even for me to grab a screenshot in order to post this video. So I'm going to change plans. I'm going to remove this, and I'm not going to put the mason's house here. All right, so we'll do something else with this little space. I mean, we could pave it maybe. We could make it like, add some benches here, make it a little like, I don't know, stop on the river. We could add some kind of like fishing dock here maybe. I don't know. I'll worry about that later on. So my previous plans involved building the mason there and a church here. I'm going to scrub that plan, and instead I'm going to build the mason's house here. I've added some dirt in just to kind of connect that area. I'm going to go ahead and continue running grass blocks all the way out to the edges here. And I'm actually going to tear down this section of wall right here, and then we will run the wall along here. So, and I'm going to run the wall, the retaining wall, all the way down to here. And then I'm going to fill in this entire area on this side with grass blocks. All right, so yeah, this will be a great big space to build my Mason's Lodge in, and it's not too far away from the tracks. I've decided also on a different kind of design for the Mason's Lodge. It's definitely going to be based on some of the Freemasons lodges of Europe and London, and it's going to be a giant stone structure that will rival any of the other guilds in town, and it will also dwarf them. I think it needs to be taller and more ostentatious because it's not specifically connected to the town square over there. I think these masons would definitely want to stand out. All right, so it's turning into night. I'm going to sleep real quickly, and then I'm going to do another time lapse just to get this area all filled in with dirt. The landscape is now a little bit flat and a little bit fake looking. I realize that, but we can always break it up with trees and other little features, and we can even like take out some of the dirt maybe along the edge here just to give it sort of that natural feel of erosion. But right now I've been working on the layout of our actual Masonic temple. So yeah, the Masonic temples, if you look them up on Google, they are definitely stone buildings. So we're going with that. We're going to have a double door entrance. And so I've opted for an even width building. So we're going to need to fill this entire area here with blocks so that the floor of the building is raised. We're going to have a little foyer here, sort of, with a grand staircase going up on both sides. Probably have windows to all three sides here. And then we will have a second floor full of masons. Now down there below me, you can see this is where we're going to have our villager trading hall full of masons. This area in between here, this wall, will probably have 2 stacks of furnaces here so that we can convert regular color terracotta into glazed terracotta wherever we need to. All right, so I'm going to build up this area behind all of these mason villager trading hall stalls, and then we will build a device that will allow the rails, which come up from there, to come across here, across these stalls, and then across these stalls, and it will automatically eject them from the cart and drop them into the first open available stall for a mason. So yeah, first thing I'm going to do is fill up the floor with a cross pattern tile. Basically, we want to have polished diorite and polished andesite alternating all the way across the floor here. So yeah, these stairs are not actually going to come out to here. They're going to start there. And yeah, so this is pretty good. So you would walk in, and then you actually would have 2 spaces here in order to get up to the second level. So that will make this a lot more navigable. All right, and now I'm just gonna go across the ground here and placing andesite blocks every other one. So one would go there, and then alternate would go here. And then I'm gonna go through and fill in with polished diorite slabs. All right, so I have got one side of chamber set up to take the villagers out of their cart as they come past. The masons will be thrown out because of this activator rail right here. They'll be thrown onto that piece of string right there, which will activate this observer, which will send a signal down to this piston right here that'll pull that stone block back into the wall. And then when the villager gets down to here, it will send a signal back up that will deactivate this rail by pulling this piece of redstone up off of it. So actually, because of the way they come in here, they're going to come up this track and up this hill here. And the first one they're going to hit is this one. And what we actually need to do now at this point, it's not quite done. I need to put glass all around, covering all of these spaces so that the only space that he can pop out on is this block with the string that activates that observer right there. And these little trapdoors down here are temporary. I've just got them, I'm just keeping them in there so that we can keep the guy in there while we remove these blocks and trade with them and figure out what their color of terracotta is. And then we're going to put that color of terracotta above them. All right, so that should do it. Those little pieces of glass in between each of those will prevent the villager from popping out on any space except for that space with the string. Okay, we're all good now, and I think we're ready to go and test it. All right, now we're going to run a test here and see if we can get Mr. Yellow Terracotta into that first stall on the back side. All right, I like what I'm seeing here. Yes, and he's in there. He popped right out, he landed there, and now he is in his stall and he is ready to be traded with. All right, welcome to the Stonemasons Guild, sir. Welcome back, guys. The mission is going very well. We've got all these guys selling all these types of terracotta. This is yellow, green, I think this is blue, and that's light blue, and then over here we've got, I think that's gray, and then black and white, and light gray. But some of these guys are selling more than one kind of terracotta. For example, almost all of the guys, well, I guess this should be in a different place, but almost all 3 of these guys sell pink terracotta as their alternate. So I've just got this little item frame here just to remind myself that both these guys sell pink terracotta. And this guy over here is also selling magenta. So that's 2 less spaces that I need to provide above, if you think about it. I'm really happy with how it's going. I really am. So now I'm going to add a second floor onto this building. I think we're going to add 6 more trading posts. All right, guys, so quick update. I have built up the remaining mechanisms and also the track. So now the track is going to bring our next set of 3 masons over here and put them automatically into each of their little 3 trading stalls down here in the villager trading hall in the upper level. Yeah, and I did a little bit more work on the inside. So yeah, now we have a real grand staircase here. There isn't a stone pillar, so I'm going to go ahead and use basalt pillars unless something better is added to Minecraft. Then maybe I'll come in and swap these out. And we're going to use some basalt pillars on the outside of the building too, because we need pillars. Masonic Hall definitely needs pillars. But now we got these guys all sheltered in, and I added a little array of furnaces back here just to smelt up some terracotta. And I went ahead and I baked some and glazed some white terracotta. When you put it in the ground, first I think you put this piece like this, and then you go around and you put all these pieces at an angle so that the patterns line up. It gives you this little sun pattern on the floor. And I think that's great. I think that's a great pattern for the Masons Guild. Right above this sun pattern, I want the roof to go straight up to the sky. So I want there to be a little 4x4 little hole through the roof all the way up to the sky. That way it's kind of like becomes like a temple. All right, so I'm going to go back down and I'm going to start trading up my next couple of masons, and I'm going to get them into their little slots. Okay, so I've got all of my masons loaded in. This guy is offering me red. This one is offering both cyan and purple. This guy's offering orange. And then this guy over here is offering brown. These last 2 guys are offering lime. And let me tell you, at first lime was not coming up easy. So this guy right here especially, yes, you sir, this guy represents a large investment in materials and villager capital, shall we say, in order to get this guy. And then I just decided to roll the last guy for fun, and guess what? He had lime too. All right, so we were all done now, and oh yeah, let me do. Oh, so yeah, all of my carts are coming off the track, and they're just kind of stacking up here. That's kind of hilarious. In order to get these guys, I spent exactly 0 emeralds. I got back every emerald I spent, and then some. I had to buy all this stuff, so I have quite a supply of bricks now, a full stack of flower pots. I'm pretty happy about that, and I have all these other bricks to go, so I'm gonna have to find some storage. I went through almost 2 shulker boxes of stone in trading with these guys. I went through very little nether quartz, just like that much out of that stack. I almost emptied this box, but I did manage to retain about half a box of clay balls here. And then I can convert that back into regular terracotta, which these guys don't sell. Okay, so I've cleaned up a little bit, and now it's time to finish up this build in a quick time lapse. Finally, all done. What do you think? Let's just take a quick look at the outside. I added a couple trees at the back and at the right side of the building, but I really haven't figured out what to do with the surrounding area. I'll update that later and show you in a future episode. Now for a quick walk inside and a look around. I really like the way this turned out. I used cyan terracotta on the upper levels of the foyer to draw the eye upward, giving the visitor a sense of the grand scale of this build. When my mason who sells cyan terracotta was a little slow to sell me more, I decided to repeat the sun pattern again, high up there. What do you think? That's it for this episode, guys. I certainly hope you like my Mason's Guild, and if you do, please do me a huge favor and click the like button. This video took a long time to make, and liking it shows the videos to more viewers on YouTube. I'm dudieboy, thanks so much for watching, and please subscribe if you'd like to catch my next Minecraft video, and have a fantastic day. Alright, let's go in and do some trading of a brand new Mason. God, it's just towering. It towers over everything. I mean, look at how it looks from back here at the town square. You really can't miss it. It's amazing. I'm really loving this. Okay, so let's go inside and let's trade. All right, let's see my cyan guy.